Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, so it's so privileged to have Mr. Yu here with us. And this is a session for everyone. Yeah, whether you are a P6 student, or you're a parent who is here to actually know how now is after the prelims, how we can work towards the PSLE and like what Mr. Yu has at the background, how to pick, especially in science. Hello, everyone. Hi, Mr. Yu. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jasline.
Hi, hi,
Thanks for
hi.
the invitation.
Yeah, so we are here to really help our students from right now after the prelims where we get the results and the papers and how we can get on from here going forward. So I should do a little bit introduction of myself because I think here we have a lot of Mr. Yu's students. Yeah, okay, and next, huh? Okay, so I'm actually Jasline. I'm a study coach, which I also do a lot of motivation as well as planning the study schedules and the way that the children should be learning instead of just memorizing. There should be other ways that the child learns. So you can go to my YouTube for more content, okay? And this is my YouTube channel, and I'm also on Facebook. Okay, so other than I'm a study coach, I'm also a parenting strategist. I help parents to solve the issues with their children, especially on academics and other areas. And I'm also an international speaker. And important that here, I'm here to transform parents, okay, whether you're frustrated about children and into a parent that is happy with your kids. And for children, I have seen this important aspect that we should all be noting is that sometimes children are not confident about themselves in terms of whether it's their studies or whether themselves. And we are going to transform them into happy directed learners because learning in school is such a big part of their lives. And important is whether we go for tuition or we go for enrichment centers, we also need to optimize the learning. So this is why I'm here to share what is how the children can love learning, self-motivating, forming good study habits for many, many years, right? So still till the end of our life, because there will be tickets to my upcoming webinar, 3M system to ace the exams, and there will be limited seats that's left in Mr. Yu's power class for science. And I have these 3M strategies to score the exams during the school holidays at a discounted price. So stay tuned. Yeah. So why we're all here is because we know that there's only 4 weeks towards PSLE. And what is currently that we can doing to optimize our current schedule for our children so that we improve their grades? It could be AL1 or AL2 more grades. Okay. And to me, my 3M system is methods, which we are going to show you how we all can have better methods in studying science. And we need all have motivation for our children in order for them to move towards this important 4 weeks. And what's it mindset for our children when they now get their results, whether it's very good results or whether it's not so good, okay, how we can help them further. So this is why stay till the end of my camp and end of my life so that you can know what you can help your child even more, okay, whether your child is at 10 years old to 16 years old, okay. So yeah, I'll stop share right here. Yeah, hi, Mr. You can come out and also share with us what you have for today, not only science, but other areas.
Thank you, Jasline, and thank you, parents, and also an early Happy Teachers Day.
Happy Teachers Day, Mr. Yi.
Yeah, actually today, most school, they have half day. So I think most of the students, including my own children, I got 4 children. So even those from secondary school, they have returned home already. So I know some parents are bringing their kids out for lunch today. Happy family time.
Yeah, I'll be going lunch later too. Okay, so happy Teachers Day, Mr. Yu. Okay, and so such a privilege, you have planned really a series of things for us to share with our parents here so that we can supercharge them for the PSLE. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so without further ado, I will do a screen share. Today's topic is about post-prelim reflection and picking towards PSLE. So I was a former MOE teacher, and actually this year, after I left MOE, this is my 23rd year of teaching. So I'm very passionate in science because I was given the rare privilege of marking the PSLE science section B 3 times.
Wow.
representing Pei Hwa Presbyterian Primary School.
Mm,
I served there for 6 years as a PE teacher, as well as science coordinator.
mm,
During that 6 years, I find it quite interesting to be able to coordinate all the science field trip from P3 to P6.
mm,
So I enjoy bringing the students to the zoo, to the science center, to the Jurong Bird Park.
mm,
So because at a young age, we need to engage their minds to love science.
mm. That's
So once they
important.
love science, right, very automatically they would pay attention to your lesson.
Yes, yes, yes. And I think the one interesting thing that I have learned from Mr. Yu is that while everyone is having a prelims, right? Okay, Mr. Yu is collecting the questions. And I think this is a really important part where Mr. Yu can actually learn from all the different schools, what are all the topics, and then prepare the students. So this is a one point that I really like about Mr. Yu. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Jasline.
Mm.
So indeed, I actually enjoy looking through the students' prelim paper from different schools.
Mm.
So far, I collected questions from Fuhua,
Mm.
from ACS Junior, from UT Primary School, from CHIJ, and also from Raffles Girls Primary School. So there are
Wow.
more of these schools paper coming in. So what I do is actually I look at how students answer the questions, what are the common mistakes they make, and then for this student, right, I will redesign the questions. I even combine different schools' questions to formulate my own questions to test their understanding. Because you see, for science is quite unique. As long as the child understands the concept, the child must be able to also verbalize how such concept is being applied to the situation. So this is my recommendation for parents. So regardless of what your child's grade is, when the paper come back, try to cool down yourself first mentally. Okay, try to relax and also give positive comment to your child. Maybe your child is not those AL1 or AL2, but your child maybe have improved from AL6 to AL4. No? So that's an achievement for the child. So we need to give verbal or even other forms of encouragement. Yeah. So I'm sure some parents are aware of the 5 languages of love, right? Some child respond better to gifts, some respond better to
Praises.
praises, some
Time.
for hug, all this. So I encourage parents. I know that most of the P6 students next week they need to return to school for at least 2 days. So today is actually half day, right, parents? I already got parent. Actually, just now some parent text me say, Mr. Yu, my child not coming to your class today. So I say, very good. Go and enjoy your family time. Yeah.
Yeah, need to relax a bit.
Yeah, relax a bit.
Yeah.
So I encourage parents, especially those maybe working, try to maybe take 1 day off tomorrow because tomorrow is a school holiday. So if you bring your child out tomorrow instead of the weekend, will be less crowded. Yeah, will be less crowded. So also tomorrow is good because it's a good start because your child has been quite stressed, right, during the prelim already. So I did today, this afternoon, this evening, plus tomorrow morning, afternoon, evening, try to let your child relax. Okay, because next week the child maybe Monday need to go back to school already.
Yeah.
So as I know some students they need to return school on Tuesday. Yeah. So try to use this holiday to space out your time to relax your child. Do not overstress them. Because as I share with Jasline honestly, last year there were actually some P6 people, they couldn't take the prolonged HBL and the prolonged circuit breaker. They actually collapse, so-called mentally collapse before the PSLE because they are too drained out immediately after the prelim. So parents, we need to be very sensitive to our child. Yeah, because every child is different. So don't compare your firstborn with secondborn. Yeah, they have different makeup, individual makeup.
Yes, and also this calendar makes me remember of one phrase. If we want to succeed, we also need to plan. If we don't plan, then we will definitely not succeed. So important we plan, we space out the relaxed time. We also need to plan what we need for the children to revise and learn what they have learned over the prelims, and then they will not make the same mistakes and do better in the PSLE. Am I right?
Yeah. What we meant is if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's right. So we still look at this carefully, what we can do in these 30 days. Okay, now it's this second already, so we have 2 more days, next 28 days. how we can make use of these 28 days to supercharge, and like what Jay has put in the title, picking towards the science, right?
Yes. So parent, you take note, on the 17th of September is their next exam, the listening exam. So this is actually, I have extracted a timetable, and I always encourage my student, don't take the listening comprehension lightly, yeah, because MOE is helping you to get full marks. So you take it seriously, aim for full marks because it's possible. Okay.
Yes, agreed.
Because if you get full marks for this, you will pull up your English and your mother tongue's grade. So don't take it lightly. Just go for this exam. Actually, it's quite short only. It's about 30 minutes just listening for each paper.
Yes.
Yeah. Then after that is a picking towards PSLE. There's about 15 days. So the first paper is actually English. And this is a creative advice to parents. Because as a teacher, I know how the student feel. You know, for English composition writing, which is paper 1, the mind need to be in a relaxed state. Because if you're not in a relaxed state, right, you may misinterpret the question. And then maybe you spend already 20 minutes writing. Then you say, maybe I wrote out of point. Yeah, then the child will panic. So it's important to allow your child 1 day before the exam, 29th of September, to have a relaxed state. So even for my own student, right, I told the parents early, those on my Wednesday and Thursday science tuition, right, they can either choose to do the online makeup or they may choose to come to my center. Because some students, they find coming to my center is relaxed.
Wow, okay. Yeah, it got so fun, right, even your lessons.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your tips.
Yes. So next is actually the Chinese paper. So I was telling Jasline, this is something some parents, they make a calculated risk. Yeah, and I told her because I've been teaching for many years, for English or for Chinese or in terms of language acquisition, it is almost impossible to do one grade jump after the prelim to the PSLE, even for mathematics, because languages and mathematics, right, we need a longer period of time to build up the foundation and to build up competency. However, for science is very special because for science, right, it's conceptual understanding, and then you relate the student to various situations so that the child can see, this concept, I must use these words, this phrase to explain the applicational part. So I mentioned here, as you can see here clearly, it is almost impossible to improve by 1 AL grade jump by forcing your child to cram Chinese or mother tongue on a weekend. Because you see the Chinese paper or the mother tongue is on a Monday. So some parents use the Friday after the paper and then Saturday, Sunday to cram so-called the mother tongue. The child may be overstressed. So just do it moderately at the child's. Although, I mean, language is important, but don't try to overcram. So some of the parents, right, in fact, a significant portion of them, they decide to use this time, right, this weekend, to ask them to learn Mr. Yu's thing or learn their science revision. Because it is possible, right? I have shown parents before to improve 2 to 3 AL grade jump in science under a proper revision, okay, just before the science exam. And many parents actually, they choose to do this. Yeah, because not with the new system, right, the AL system, personally, I find it's actually more competitive than the old system.
Definitely. Yeah. The best has to be really the best.
Yeah, so this is my experience in Pei Hwa. I taught there for 6 years. And these are some of the Pei Hwa students. I try to merge with them by wearing the same school uniform to encourage them. And these are students, are my former P6 students from various schools. They came for my training. So
what do examiners look for?
Yes, this is something like very important. And parents, your time spending for the next 10 minutes here will be quite worthwhile because I'm able to condense those talk you attend in school for 1 hour, right, in 10 minutes.
Okay, great. Yeah, so we must all pay attention.
Yes. So for science, it's very simple. For section B, the examiner look for precise scientific answer, and the child must be able to demonstrate the application of concept. So the concept application is the focus. Okay, what do students need to do? Students should be able to apply scientific facts, concepts, and principles in new situations. Later, I show you two very good examples. One is from last year's exam paper, PSLE. One is from a current year P6 question. So you can see here, this is a 2020 PSLE Science question 4, final question on frozen food. So for parents who want to find out more, right, you can visit my One Academy Science YouTube channel, because that I already did a video there to teach parents and students how to answer this question. Okay, why is it a new situation? Okay, because we are familiar with this example, right? You take out something cold from either the fridge or the freezer, you left it in the external environment, sooner you will see water droplets forming, correct? Yeah. So even perhaps some of you may be having a cup of cold drink in front of you, you leave it there. After about 10 minutes, you see this water droplet. But there's one more step required for this question, because I also tell the student, teach them this skill of annotation. When they read the exam paper, underline important thing. So this key thing here is a thin layer of white solid. So when they underline white solid, something good, because our brain will tell us cannot be water droplet, because water is in liquid state. So when they underline this solid, right, they know that it's a new situation.
But I think a lot of students are very, they ignore this important little point, which I'll be teaching my students as well. But really, these small little, the few seconds you use really can help your brain to actually understand what you're supposed to be attempting. Because I think one of the problem with kids is that they think they're actually answering the question, but they are not looking at the question carefully, right? And I think your YouTube channel, I really want to stress that it's so important that you're going to subscribe, because I have so much fun watching his YouTube channel, and it really inspires your children to like science. Okay, so take note of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, thank you. So in this new situation, actually the water vapor lost heat to the surrounding and condensed to form water droplets. And the water droplet lost heat further to the frozen packaging until it is frozen, becoming the ice flake, which is this white solid. Yeah. So the other thing as parents you can do is, when you sign the name for your child's prelim paper, right, you're going to look for evidence to check whether your child highlight the words, especially your child is in Mr. Yu's class. That's why I record all my students' prelim paper to check whether they got annotate or not. Those who never annotate, I will tell them, hey, you see, you lost out this important thing. So as parents, we can do this check for our own children and also our pupils to make sure they annotate important things on the exam script. Okay, so this another question came out in last year's paper. Okay, this question actually, I made a comment here. I mentioned that this question may not be fair to students, right, with lower English competency. Yeah, because as you can see, this child, right, actually, he seemed to be confused with what the question is asking. Yeah, because as we know, as adult, right, malaria is a disease, right? It's not a smell. So it's actually the body odor formed by the people wearing the shirt, right? Created the smell which attracted the mosquito. Yeah. So as you can see, the child is supposed to state a hypothesis. Okay, a hypothesis under the MOE science process skill, right, is actually the most difficult, highest order process skill. Okay. So what I teach students is, okay, this one perhaps many parents are not aware, and many students are also not aware that actually for PSLE section B marking, point form writing is accepted. Because I was a former PSLE section B marker. Okay, we do not mark students with like very good fluent English one. As long as your concepts and application is presented even in short phrases in the sentence, in the answer, marks will be awarded. Because eventually it is not an English exam, it's a science exam. So that's why everyone here got hope.
Yes, great. Yeah. So I think the hypothesis is already a real, very rare kind of question. To ask this question.
Yes. So here is also the same question. This question requires a higher order thinking. So this is a model answer given by the publisher. It's quite a mouthful. So what my job is to help students to condense this in concise point form answer, which will be also given the full marks. This is the 1 mark question. Okay. So these are the science process skill required under PSLE. So as you can see, formulating hypothesis is the most difficult. Observation is the easiest. So observation, actually, you can see a lot of questions in primary 3, right? Compare two animals. What are the differences? What are the similarity? Yeah.
More straightforward.
Yes. And then this is a new AL system. So I mentioned to parents that it's possible for 3 AL grade jump for the remaining time for science. Because imagine a student scoring 74, which is the upper tier of AL5. So if this child undergoes my systematic training, right, by a 11 marks improvement, right, which is actually possible for science, okay, it's very possible for science. For prelim, 11 marks jump for PSLE, that means the child will jump 3 grades, from AL5 to AL2. And it's very possible. Okay, it's achievable. Yes.
Definitely true.
So this is one example of these 11 students. Actually, they came for my one-day training because they were P5 then. They came only after SA2. I didn't teach them before SA2. Some parents, they found, hey, Mr. You got this intensive training for SA2. So the child actually, these 11 students, they came for my one-day training.
Wow.
I think somewhere in October, before the SA2. So I'm very glad that actually 100% of them, they make improvement.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
And more heartening is more than 54% improved by 25% or more. Because 6 out of 11 is 54 point something percent.
Wow, that's a great results that you have shown. Yeah, and then you do not need to be Mr. Yu's student, but you just have to take a special training, right, Mr. Yu?
Yes, crash course.
Crash course, okay.
Yeah. So I just bring out one example here because these questions may be overlooked by some schools and some teachers. Okay, in the past, for this sort of question, right, condensation questions, we do accept the word air. But nowadays, if the child write the air with higher temperature lost heat to the air with lower temperature, cannot, yeah. So I ask you, why cannot? The reason is very simple. Okay, for parents, you know to think so much, because as a science coach, I think for you.
Just use water vapor, use air.
Yeah, I think for you. Okay, you can also explain to your child why cannot use air. Because air they learn in primary 5, right, actually consists a mixture of oxygen and nitrogen in this percentage, plus other gases and water vapor. So if you say air loses heat and condense, right, it would mean that oxygen will become liquid oxygen. The nitrogen in the air become liquid nitrogen. Yeah. So this is the child will be convinced, yeah, correct, Mr. Yu, your explanation is correct. So instead of that, right, they'll be convinced to use water vapor. Okay.
Yeah, just use water vapor.
Yeah, use water vapor, correct?
Don't think so much.
Right. So once again, they can visit my YouTube channel to visit this. And also there are some interesting things which I share with them about collecting water from the air. Because there are some countries in the desert, right? They have this netting system that actually collects the water vapor throughout 24/7. And quite a substantial amount of water can be collected from the air, even in desert areas. Yeah. Okay, this question, very interesting, very fresh, hot from the oven. This is 2021 science prelim paper. Okay, this one is actually a condensation question again. Okay, if you see here, right, actually this student, she's my student. She actually used the word water vapor. But because if you zero in this question, there's one part she missed out. And the school adopted a very strict marking. Instead of getting any marks, she was not given any marks. Can you see? So this is the model answer the student copied down from the teacher, and I enlarged it to help her to improve. So the key concept here is the water vapor with higher temperature from the surrounding lost heat to the air with lower temperature around the ice cream and condense to form tiny water droplets, which appear as mist. So as I mentioned, what I do is I go one extra step. I animation for the child. So this one like the green tea ice cream, right? So I drew here. My drawing not so good.
Okay.
So this green tea ice cream, when the air around the green tea ice cream comes to contact, they will lose heat. So this, can you see this shade here? So this represents the air around the ice cream. This is at a lower temperature. And then the water vapor comes into contact with this layer of
This.
air
Mm,
and condense to form tiny water droplets,
mm.
which appear as mist.
Yeah. I
So,
think
yeah. So
important
when you
point
do
is that
animation, right, the
yeah.
child actually can, because a lot of students, by the way, they
Mm,
are visual learners.
mm,
You show them one time of this, it's better than 10 times asking them to memorize the question.
mm. Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the keyword is that she cannot use. It's not actually the surface of the ice cream, but actually it's the air around the ice cream.
Yes, the air around the ice
That's
cream. Yeah.
that's the difference.
Yeah.
That's what they want them to show.
So that's why this child, she learned her mistake. Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, she
Because
learned from my training before, but
mm,
this school push it one more step further.
yes,
Yeah.
correct. So this is I also study a lot of science open-ended questions, so I can understand what the keywords that they are looking for. So this is one of the key things is that science you need to write the keywords. So if you do not have, like in this case, they are so strict, they are not going to give them any marks at all.
Yes. But I hope that the child's tutor can, I mean, the teacher can at least award her 1 mark, because her conceptual understanding is there.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. So
Yes.
do go for Mr. Yu's course, so they give you all the keywords, so you just get to just use it and not rack your brains about what is the words to use, right?
Yeah. And then this question also from the same school. I like this drawing here. The reason I want to show and encourage parents is this child follows my method of answering. For PSLE, there's only one 5-mark question. And can you see that this child actually get the full 5 marks?
Nice.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So I like to encourage children. You can actually use simple answers and also very clear explanation to get the 5 marks. Yeah, there will be only one 5-mark questions for PSLE Science Section B.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, so
awesome.
wow, great. Full marks, yes.
Okay, so this is one of my publications. So for parents, you can actually order this from me and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And
this is the
this is a training where actually Miss Jasline Loves, she was mentioning. So I have this 2 days training in September,
take down the
Tuesday and
screen.
Friday.
Yeah. Limited seats, right? I think you only have a few seats left. Yeah. So please go and register.
Right. Okay, just now my book, the book that I mentioned, right? This book. Because in my class, I call it the Science Bible.
Oh, okay.
Because like people go to church, you need to bring the Bible, right? So I put here Science Bible is included in the fees, just to clarify.
Wow.
So if you go for the course, you know to buy the book because it's included, yeah.
Great.
And actually today is a closing date because I need to mail over the book. Yeah. Yeah. And I know that some parents, right, they may say that the child needs to attend school. So I got a special provision in case the child can't attend 2 days, right? They pay a prorated rate, 180. Then they will receive the recording, right, 1 day after my training via link. Yeah, because the full 2 days live Zoom training is 280. But if the child want to attend at the full content but can't come, maybe one of the days, the child needs to attend school, the child can choose this option.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, parents, for the September holiday, those students going back to the school, right? You can actually request your child to be excused. Yeah. Because usually MOE by default, they ask them to come back. Yeah. But let's see if you believe that by going for certain training, perhaps even for Miss Jasline Loves, because Miss Jasline Loves, she do help some students with difficulties in learning. Yeah. During this September holiday, I have a few students under her coaching. So the parents decide to exclude them from the school activities and go for her training. So likewise, you will think that this is valuable and I can help your child to upgrade 3 AL grades, right? More confidently. You can choose to attend my training rather than go for the school's training.
Oh yeah, I have the book, and I'll be teaching them to my students as well. And also, it's really really a supercharge, your children these school holidays. And so is it okay that I share my my program?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I wish parents all the best. I like your child to upgrade their ALs from AL5 to AL2. possible.
Yes, yes, definitely possible. I totally agree.
So
So
now
for
I
me,
pass the time back. Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Yu. Yes, I have students from Mr. Yu in my coaching, as well as I have this special three-day course, okay, for children that are between 10 to 16 years old, okay? So it's in the school holidays, right? It's just 2.5 hours every day. But what you learn is how are the 3M strategies, which is the motivation, mindset, and of course the methods, okay? So like mind maps, like how to use flashcards, because some children does not really memorize things, and that's how I always teach students how to use mind maps for science, okay? Because it's not with so many words and they can remember very well. So this is one of the things that I love to teach, as well as the smart study methods used by top students, okay? So I myself have 2 children which are academics very, very strong, and I've learned all the smart methods to teach them, as well as what they are all experiencing right now I can share as well. And the examination techniques, right, that is improve all your grades, but at least 1 AL up, okay? And this is a testimonial from P6 boy, because I have a June session where he attended my 3-day camp, and he found that he's actually an average student, but he found that when he go there, he's able to learn more about how to be stronger in the mindset, so that we can do the prelims and as well as the PSLE. So he also found his weaknesses, that he's a little bit complacent, that what he says, and he wants to overcome that. So that means he wants to do a little bit more every day in small steps, so that he doesn't become complacent. So it is a screen that you can take down, so that you can register through the link, and it's really with special bonuses that you can come and ask me for it, okay? Only for Mr. Yu's student that I will give you special bonuses. So this is my contact number, and this is really the time to supercharge, whether your child is 10 years old all the way to 16 years old for the final exams, right? And this is also my webinar. I invite you to my webinar free, because you are in here with us throughout the whole life, and take down the link so that you can sign up. And the webinar is this Saturday, right? 8:30 p.m. Okay, so see you around, and let's all get much grades with efforts from us, whether it's from you parents as well as the students, and of course the coaches here, right? Thank you so much, Mr. Yu. So thank you for your wonderful time here, and happy Teachers Day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
See you. God
See you.
bless.
Okay, bye.